It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we've got two teams who were AFC rivals for almost 25 years. We can hardly wait for the start of this one, and it's all up next.
From the picturesque Pacific Northwest and the city of Seattle, welcome inside Lumen Field, where all the 12s make it at home for the Seahawks. With Greg Olson, Mike Tirico up here in the booth. So glad that you are along with us. Greg got a couple offenses here that love to take their shots down the field, so the defenses really have their task right in front of them if they want to win this game.
Yeah, no question. I think as many of the matchups that we've dove into this entire week, it really comes down to which defense puts a lid on the opposing passing game and prevents as many big plays as possible. We see it week in and week out. The correlation between generating big plays, especially through the air, directly leads to the ability to score points. So make teams go the long way. You know, the defense old saying is make them snap it again.
All right, just about set for football. The crowd is definitely ready. So are we. Off we go on EA Sports. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. Here comes the Seattle offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by a young man who's making a name for himself, their rookie quarterback.
I think we're seeing this so often now in the modern NFL is quarterbacks who can hurt you both improv as a scrambler and also with designed runs coming out of the huddle. So this is a tricky situation. Guys who can run with this kind of speed, you have to be very careful how you pass rush them. You're not just rushing to a spot. It's not just an X behind the center. You got to try to corral him and keep him in the pocket.
Oh no, right at the start, he loses the football. The defense has it, and that's going to be scooped up. A fumble recovery for touchdown. And that is the dream start for this defense on the opening drive. They get the first points of the game for their team.
You know, Mike, every team, they have an opening drive script. So what it is, it's the plays they feel best about. Pass, run, establish a little rhythm, and get your players into the game a little bit. Here they are executing their opening script, something they've done all week long. They cough the ball up, scoop, score, and you couldn't have drafted a worse start for this offense.
Nothing is our score as this kick is sent into the air. Here's Steven Sims to return it. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. Out comes the Seattle offense as they get ready for their next possession. Let's see if they can bounce back from the early mistake. That fumble a moment ago returned for a touchdown. As the offense gets it back, 1st and 10. So they come to the line for 1st down and 10. Now, faking the give. He's going to look deep. Going to Cup.
When you air it out like that on these big shots downfield, they're not always high percentage plays. It takes a lot of things to line up timing-wise, location of the field, accuracy of the throw to result in those big plays, but I think they've got to continue to search for those and try to generate a little bit of a spark.
Off play action. He'll set up to throw. It'll be Smith and Jigba bringing it in. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield.
So you come back out here after watching the opposing team score first, and what you want to do is you got to establish a little early rhythm and get the drive started. Get a little positive energy into that huddle, and what hopefully starts out good ends with you being able to get some points of your own.
First carry now for Kenneth Walker. And he'll get about 6 there, setting up second down. Now they'll set up to throw. Looking middle there, but it's incomplete. Cooper Kupp was the intended receiver. Third down coming up.
Really nice job there by the defense defending the middle of the field. That is the most valuable real estate on the field. They know every single offense is trying to attack the defense between the hashes, so give credit. They took away all the throwing lanes, and that ball falls incomplete.
It's complete. He's got Kupp. And he's going to have enough for a first down. He's out of bounds after a gain of 5.
Mike, I think we make so much of all these fancy routes, right? The selling, the head fakes, getting in and out of the break. And while that's really important to create separation, that's really more of a man beater. That's when teams want to just play you one-on-one and you have to beat the defender. Against zone defense, like we saw.
And he's going to run out of time. They get to him and bring him down.
The key to this play here, Mike, is the anticipation of the snap. Watch how he's able to time the center, and when that ball moves, he hits it. Gets through into the backfield, and he brings the quarterback down before the receivers even got out of their breaks.
Work to do now as they come up on second and long. Straight ahead, it's Walker. And he'll be very close to a first down. Won't quite have enough, but now a much more advantageous spot.
This is one of those cases where having high-end speed in the backfield can be such a game changer. The offensive linemen don't need to hold their blocks quite as long. You give this guy a little bit of a crease, and man, he is gone.
They'll throw here on third and short yardage. And that is incomplete.
It's just so hard to be a good offense in the NFL, Mike, when you are not good on third down. Your inability to extend drives, it either puts a lot of pressure on your coaches to be aggressive on fourth down or simply punt or take a field goal. You have to maintain possession and give you more cracks to score touchdowns.
Myers' kick is good. And the Seahawks are on the board. It's 7-3.
And I can tell you firsthand, Mike, when you find yourself trailing in a game, you don't feel very good about coming away with field goals. But in this case, it does get them a little bit closer and cut into this deficit.
The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. On the return is Dylan Laube. He'll get across the 20, mark him down at the 23-yard line. The Raiders offense set to take over for the first time. And leading them, Greg, the veteran out of West Virginia, it's Geno Smith.
You just can't say enough about Geno and his turnaround over the last couple years, Mike. I mean, many thought he was destined to just be a career backup and just play out the rest of his career. And when things didn't play out at first, instead of just listening to those doubters, he just kept working on his craft. And next thing you know, he gets an opportunity with a new team, makes the most of it, and he's now solidified himself as a bona fide franchise quarterback in this league.
He runs with it. Geno's been around, knows how to slide and get out of harm's way after picking up the first down. A gain there of 27 yards.
You know this defense worked all week defending this quarterback as a scrambler, as a runner. But sometimes it's just hard to simulate until you see him in real life. His speed, his ability to create. We saw him get him here early on a big scramble. He's able to pick up the first down and keep the drive alive.
After that incomplete pass, we have a player shaken up. So as they look at the injured player, we'll take a timeout. try again. It's 2nd and 10. On the ground, here's the first-round pick from April's draft. And it'll be a pickup of 3, so 3rd down forthcoming. From the gun, it's Gino. He'll look middle, and he's got his man complete. Now a 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Now, Gino. And he might have waited just a bit too long there as he throws it incomplete. Looking to set up the screen, but the defense wouldn't give him the time.
Up until that incompletion, they've done a really nice job on this drive, Mike, picking up fresh sets of downs. And typically, throwing the ball on 1st down is a great way to do it. But now they find themselves in 2nd and 10. Do you keep it in the air and try to get the 1st down here? Or is the idea to just make 3rd down manageable and take your chances picking up a key 3rd down?
Got to get it to the 28, but now it's 3rd down. Throw to the sideline. Well done. Good job with the feet. Stays in bounds. It looks like, and yes, they do, have the 1st down. A 1st down on a gain of 11.
Anytime you're facing a zone defense, you're working from your first progression all the way through. But when guys are open in this level, Mike, they don't stay open very long. So what they taught us as receivers, if you're open, stay open. And if you're not open, you better get open quick because that ball is coming out.
He's going to be marked down at the 12-yard line.
They've done a nice job spreading the ball around. Make the defense have to account for as many different weapons as possible here early. I think back to our conversation with this coaching staff, Mike. They identified this guy as someone they needed to get involved early and often, so that might be his first target. I don't think it's going to be his last.
And he'll take it on in. Brock Bowers. Touchdown, Raiders.
And that was just a great drive, really from start to finish, Mike. You could see the play caller just really finding his rhythm, mix in run, mix in pass. Results in the touchdown pass, but really everything they did, the entire possession worked to perfection. When you can sustain the drives like that and come away with touchdowns, man, that goes a long way towards establishing your identity for the rest of this game.
Carlson now for the extra point. He gets it to go, and the Raiders extend their advantage to 14-3. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. He'll start at the 4. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense ready to get back at it. The deficit is double digits, so work to do as they begin this drive with 1st and 10. On the bootleg, he'll look to throw. The pass rush gets home, and he goes down.
It's just so hard to get anything going when you're just not confident running your own system. And all these early sacks, yes, they kill drives, but think what it does to the quarterback. The quarterback just can't be confident operating out of the pocket. There's no rhythm, there's no timing, and everything you planned on doing today coming in is out the window.
They'll try to get the running game going. His first carry. And the defense all over this one. They knock him down. It'll go down as a loss of 2.
Well, has been the case this entire first half. It's been the defense that's really carried the load for this team. Some offensive struggles, but they've done more than their part, coming through again with another big stop for a loss.
Throwing now on 3rd and long. He's going to air this one out. That is knocked away downfield, incomplete. He made sure not to let the receiver get behind him. 3rd down stop sets up 4th down.
He's trying to set the tone here for the rest of the game and let this defense know there is not a blade of grass on this field that you don't have to defend, because he reared back and he let that one eat. And he's got to work a little bit on his touch, a little bit on his accuracy, but I don't think he needs to work on his arm strength.
And he's going to be brought down after a short return, and that's where his team will get possession of the football. The Raiders offense starting to trot out for this next possession. They built a nice lead for themselves here. They'll try to add to that, beginning with 1st down. Man in motion here is Tucker. He'll begin here on the ground. He is met and dropped. A couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage, too.
Well, there hasn't been a whole lot for this crowd to be excited about on either side of the ball, but at least now the defense is trying to be that spark. Nice tackle for loss there. Can they do something to build upon to try to get this team going?
Here's a 2nd and 12. From the shotgun, Smith. And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing 3rd down.
He decides to go with this safe throw and throws it well short of the sticks. And at this level, Mike, you just can't miss layups like that.
3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Smith. Now he'll air one out. And this ball incomplete on 3rd down.
This offense has to find a way to be better on 1st and 2nd down, Mike. Living in these 3rd and long situations, must pass, is not a recipe that their offensive coordinator wants to operate in.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. And no return forthcoming. It's a touchback and will come out to the 20-yard line. The Seahawks offense ready for this next possession. They'll see if they can put something together here, beginning with 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Walker to start the drive. And a pickup of 3, or maybe 4. It is Max Crosby there to wrap him up. Here's 2nd and 6. He'll keep it on the ground and keep it with Walker. And he'll take this up, working towards the 1st down mark. He gets 5, but is just a little short of the 1st down. They'll look to pick this up 3rd and a yard. They'll try and run it with Walker. And he didn't need much, but I don't think he got there. It's going to depend on the spot. Looks like he is short on that one.
That's really well done defensively, Mike. The key to these situations is you got to engage with the blocker, bottle it up, but then you have to get off the block, find the ball, bring them down. That's exactly what they do. No gain, fourth down.
Here's Michael Dixon now. And he's on to punt for the second time in this opening quarter. Fair catch made here, and the drive will start at the 23-yard line. The Raiders' offense getting things in order as they trot out for this next possession. They'll start it here with a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Smith. Work in the middle of the field, but that is incomplete. Trying to get it to his tight end, Brock Bowers. And it'll bring up second down.
At this level, you just would expect a little bit better execution and accuracy on those intermediate throws. I think he had an opportunity there for a nice pickup. Off target, off rhythm, and ends up getting away from him.
He's got it downfield. Myers the connection. They get 20 on the connection. First down, Vegas.
These crossing concepts are frequently used, Mike, throughout the entire game, all across the league. And what it does is it creates a lot of natural rubs. You run out the backside of the defense and rely heavily on the yards after the catch, and it's exactly how they're able to pick up this big game.
And he'll manage to get this ahead for a pickup of 5. They'll break the huddle. It's 2nd and 5. Smith. A very quick throw there, but not on the same page with his target. That's incomplete.
It's pretty remarkable at this stage, Mike, that they're even winning this game. I mean, anytime a quarterback is completing less than 50% of his throws, you just don't see that very often, and it just seems like time and time again, this quarterback and his intended targets, they're just not on the same page.
He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
You can't fault the quarterback on this one, Mike. He really didn't even have much of an opportunity. By the time he hit the top of his drop and got his eyes downfield, the defense was all over him, and he really had no choice but to just get that ball out of his hand and live to play another snap.
The Seahawks offense ready to get back to work. They'll start out 1st down and 10. This drive starts on the ground with Walker. And that's the way you want to run it on 1st down. A gain of 7. Here's 2nd and 3 to go. The tight end Fant in motion. They go sideline, and he stays in bounds. Got the feet down in time. It's a 1st down. A gain there of 27 yards.
And these are the throws that when they evaluate young quarterbacks coming out of college, they want to see you be able to make. Everyone worries about how far you can throw the ball, and while that's certainly important, to be able to...
Antonio Pierce objecting to that previous call, and out comes the red challenge flag. At issue, was he able to stay in bounds? The NFL rules, you're looking for either 2 feet or a body part that is not a hand to be down with possession of the ball. No bobbling, the ball not moving around. He has control, so that's what the referee is looking at here. So the challenge is unsuccessful, and he's going to have to be careful here because he has just one challenge for the remainder of the game. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. The run up the middle, it's Walker. And he is stopped in his tracks. Loss of a couple on the play.
Every team makes an emphasis on winning first down, but as a defense, when you're able to take them back for a loss, 2nd and long, you can really become more of a pass-centric defense and really tips the scales into your favor.
Now a give up the middle. He'll pop this ahead for about 4, but it will set up 3rd down. From the 50, he'll set up to throw. He bought all the time he could, but he's going to be taken down as he couldn't get a throw away.
If you can't protect the quarterback in the NFL, you might as well just throw your entire playbook in the garbage. Everything starts there. And with the amount this quarterback's been hit and taken down here in the 1st quarter, are we confident that we're going to be able to even see him in the game come the 2nd?
Here's their punter now, as he is on to kick it for Seattle. He'll take this in back at the 16. And that's a nice job of making things more manageable for this offense as he takes it back beyond the 25-yard line. He gets this one to Tucker. And he's taken down on what should be the final play of this 1st quarter. We are through 1. It's the Raiders with the early lead. Greg and I back in the Great Northwest in a moment. Here's a 2nd and 6. They'll run it on the inside handoff. And he'll take this up, working towards the 1st down mark. He gets 5, but is just a little short of the 1st down. Third and a yard. Try to pick this one up on the ground. Heading outside, going to be close. It's going to depend on the spot. They're going to mark him short, and it is going to be 4th down.
The key to this play, Mike, was defensively their ability to stretch this ball and make him go laterally. Anytime you could force the ball carrier to go sideways on 3rd and short, it gives your defenders time to rally, make the tackle for no gain, brings up 4th down.
Here's A.J. Cole now, as he's on to punt for the Raiders. And that's a nice job of getting to him, making sure that return was not going anywhere. The Seahawks offense ready to see what they can do. They'll begin inside their own 15-yard line, so a lot of real estate to cover. It's 1st and 10. They run with Walker. And he'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
Coming off that edge, Mike, you have to quickly determine, is this a pass or is it a run? And once he realized it was a run, he's able to shed his blocker, make the play, no gain.
They'll try again here, 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. He'll be hit as he throws this time, and it's going to fall incomplete. And he might be fortunate just to avoid the sack, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
As a pass rusher, you don't always need to record a sack to make your presence felt. Creating pressure, move the quarterback, affect his timing. Those are all different ways to take pressure off your coverage unit.
And on 3rd down, that ball incomplete.
The offense just couldn't seem to get anything going that drive. They knew they had a long way to go, taking over possession that deep in their own territory. You want to pick up that 1st down and see if you can capitalize some momentum. Instead, the errant throw brings up 4th down, and they're going to have to punt it away.
This returnable from inside his own 40. And he'll be brought down. Short return. And they'll take over there. The Raiders offense ready to take over once more. They'll have very good starting field position as they set up past the 40. First and 10. Here's Gino. To the right side, hauled in by Myers. That's his 3rd catch of this first half and good enough for a 1st down.
These curl routes, he's been running these routes since he was a young kid in Pop Warner football, and I like to call it pulling the string. You've got the defender thinking you're going downfield and you stick that foot in the ground, work back to the quarterback, friendly to the ball, and really nice job picking up the 1st down.
So a lot of options on the table now. It's 1st and 5. Smith now. He'll go right back to Myers. And they have the 1st down. So they get the completion on 1st and 5. And now they'll set up 1st and 10.
Really nice job here by the quarterback, understanding what did he need to pick up a fresh set of downs. In this case, that underneath drag route was all it took. Get the ball into the hands of your receiver, pick up a 1st down.
Smith now to throw on 1st down. The pressure gets there, and down he goes. A sack.
What really stood out to me, Mike, was the body language of the middle linebacker prior to the ball being snapped. So often we see the guy who's blitzing, they get a little antsy and they tip their hand. But that wasn't the case here. He times it perfectly, nobody accounts for him, and he comes away with the sack.
On 2nd down, Smith. That's over the middle, but it's incomplete.
So on a day where he's completed, give or take half of his passes, Mike, you have to imagine there's a handful of throws he'd like to have back, and I think that last one falls in that category. But the biggest thing, and most fortunately for them, they find themselves with a lead despite a bit of an up-and-down performance out of their quarterback.
Smith from the gun on 3rd down. Taking off, he'll try to get there. And he slides and covers up at the end, avoids the hit, and picked up decent yardage along the way.
And that's a great job defensively here on 3rd down. Not only taking away all the options down the field through the air, but when the quarterback decides to turn into a runner himself, they're able to converge and make the play and keep him short of the 1st down.
On 4th down, on comes Daniel Carlson for the Raiders field goal. Good snap, good hold, good kick. And the Raiders gonna open up a 17-3 lead.
And this is what you want. I mean, you clearly have the advantage, but you want to continue to apply pressure. Can you score every time you get the ball? They're able to do that here. They tack on 3 and extend their lead.
The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. On the return, here's Sim. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The home team's offense about ready to take over once more. They trail by 2 touchdowns, so the time is now. Got to get that rally going. It starts with 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Walker. And he's brought down after a gain of a couple. Second down and 8. Blown back in the backfield. He'll get the carry here. Only a couple on that one. It'll set up 3rd down. Here comes the blitz as he looks to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. That is a letdown there. Pass looked to be on target. No catch, and now 4th down.
Mike, when you're completing less than 35% of your passes, you're just not going to win a lot of games in the NFL. He's just too erratic throughout the course of the game. Sometimes it's exactly how they practiced, and at other times, it looks like they've never practiced at all.
And a fair catch is taken. It is just inside the 20-yard line. The Vegas offense ready to get rolling again. The lead is a couple of touchdowns as this drive kicks off 1st and 10. It's a first carry for the veteran Raheem Mostert. Terrific starter there. Gain of 15 and a 1st down.
We've seen this trend throughout the league, Mike. Offensively, everyone wants to have depth at the running back position. Yeah, it's great to have one guy, but if you could have 2 or 3 that could all come in and contribute on the ground, that's the goal, and we're seeing it here.
Right back to Mostert on 1st down. Not much happening there, just a short gain. Here's a 2nd and 9. To throw is Smith. The pressure, too much, and he goes down.
There's a ton of time left in this game. They don't need to feel like this is desperation mode, but they do feel the urgency to get stops, and that sack's going to go a long way to getting them off the field here. Continue to come away giving up no points. Give the ball back to your offense and see if they can start chipping away.
So, backed up after the sack, and now it's 3rd and long. Here's Smith. They'll look to set up the screen here. He's looking for room on the edge, but could not find any. They track him down behind the line, and it's 4th down.
Well, when you call a screenplay, of course, you're looking to catch the defense off guard and pick up a chunk play. You're not thinking you're actually going to find yourself going backwards, but that's exactly the case here, and really nice job by the defense sniffing that one out.
A fair catch called and taken right at the 30-yard line. The home team's offense getting their final instructions before heading back onto the field. They'll do so with 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. They'll take a shot downfield looking for Cup. That's caught! And he's going to be brought down inside the 15.
If you want to score points at a high level in the NFL, you have to generate explosive plays. And after that big chunk pass play, they find themselves now down there in the red zone, and this is where you have to finish drives.
On the move at the 14-yard line, it's 1st and 10. From out of the gun, he'll throw. Open man, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Just take what the defense is giving you. When you can stay ahead of the chains and just take these easy pitch and catch throws underneath, hitch routes, quick game, now it puts you in a lot more favorable down and distances to eventually attack this defense a little bit more downfield.
Blitz coming, he'll throw it. That's hauled in at the 2. And this drive's going to continue. They bring him down, but not before he picks up 1st and goal for his team.
Well, let's give some credit to the big boys up front in the trenches. They knew that blitz was coming. They held up just long enough that the quarterback could get that ball out safely and results in a completion.
Now this is going to be a design run. They let him keep it. This defense backed up but stepping up. No gain on the play. It stays at the 3.
You could see the quarterback once he got the snap. He was looking for any seam, any daylight, but nothing materialized, and he's fortunate he got back to the line of scrimmage.
They'll try to run this one in, and he won't quite get in. Down to the 1, setting up 3rd and goal. They'll run, and this time he will work his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle. So on 3rd and goal, they run it in. Sometimes, Greg, that's 4-down territory. They didn't need to do it on 4th down, taking care of it on the 3rd down for the touchdown.
Yeah, and when you find yourself down here this close, Mike, you have to finish these drives off. I'm with you. I think he was going to give his back 2 shots there to punch it in, but he only needed 1.
Jason Myers on to attempt the extra point. He's got it. And the Seahawks are able to cut into the lead. It's now 17-10. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. Laube now to return it. And he'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line. The Raiders offense headed back to take over once more. They lead by a touchdown as this drive begins with 1st and 10. will start on the ground, and he'll plow forward for a gain of 4 yards. A second down throw for Smith. And that ball incomplete.
Well defended there. The quarterback's trying to attack this defense outside the numbers. Those really wide-angle throws near the sideline sometimes can be very hard to defend, so give a lot of credit to this secondary. They were all on the same page, and the ball falls incomplete.
Man in motion here is Tucker. From the gun, it's Gino. He'll try and get there on the ground.
This is an element that defensively you always have to be ready to defend. You can't just accept that it's a pass and be so consumed with the receivers downfield. You have to account for the quarterback as a scrambler. You can see why, as he's able to get out of the pocket and pick up the first down.
To the ground, a first down run. And he'll get to the 40 on a short gain. They'll come up on a second down and 8. 2 minutes remain here in this first half. We're back to Seattle after this. From the pistol, Smith. A throw on the move is caught. And they bring him down, but not until he crosses midfield.
And now you can see they're really getting in rhythm in this 2-minute drive. Now, after that last completion, Mike, they cross midfield. Now the mindset goes to, all right, we got to come away with some points. They've got a quarterback who's in complete control, and they got to see if they can finish this thing off.
We'll go right back to Bowers. He's got it again. And they'll take this down inside the 35.
That last completion's going to go a long way towards at least finishing this 2-minute drive, Mike, with some points. You're already in field goal range, so now the idea is continue to work the clock down, take a couple shots at the end zone. You want to get points, ideally a touchdown, but either way, you have the ball last before the end of the second quarter.
On first down, here's Gino to throw. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be second down.
He's usually such a reliable target in the passing game, Mike. We just don't see him struggle to come down with catches like that all too often. And when you're one of the go-to guys on your team, I know the hit's coming, but guess what? It feels a lot better after you take that hit after a catch than it does after a drop.
And they bring him down inside the 25-yard line.
The thing that jumps out to me the most, Mike, is just how often the quarterback is able to throw the ball to his first read in the progression. So hats off to the play caller. Him and the quarterback seeing the game through the exact same set of eyes, and there is a lot of room to operate.
And he'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3. Second and 7. To throw, here's Smith. Right back to Thomas. He's got it again. And he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5.
So the hope is when you call these underneath drag routes, you're trying to have your tight end come out the backside of the defense in space. So when you put the ball on him early, it leads to big yards after the catch. In this case, they don't get the real big play they were hoping for, but they'll definitely take it.
On now, Daniel Carlson to try the field goal. This a 31-yard attempt. He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. And the Raiders going to tack on 3 more, extending the lead here late in the first half.
And that's a really nice boost here before the break. I mean, you work the clock well, you're able to steal some points. The biggest thing is you're able to build a little momentum now going into the locker room at halftime.
So 2 seconds left to play, and the kick's away. This one is fielded in the end zone, but he will not bring it out. It's a touchback, and this drive will begin at the 30-yard line. They'll come up here, 1st and 10. Right away, they'll set up to throw. There's the big tight end, Banks. And he's going to be taken down as time runs out on this first half of play.
Okay, Mike, thank you. More from you and Greg in a moment, but for now, welcome one and all to our EA Sports Halftime Report. These two teams making their way back out of their locker room, so that means we're just about set for the second half. And to bring it your way, we go back out to Mike and Greg.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. We welcome you back. It is quarter number 3. First half played out a bit as we expected. We'll see if there's a surprise coming up. Both teams set to go, and the second half is underway. And a decent return there. He'll get this up just shy of the 30. The visitors' offense going to have a first crack at it as we begin this third quarter. Their lead is 10. They go back to work, trying to add to it. It begins with first down. To the left side, it is caught by Myers. And he'll get about 8 on that one, most of it coming after the catch. It's second down. Man in motion here is Tucker. Throwing on second down. Smith. Nowhere to go. He's going to be taken down. That is DeMarcus Lawrence in there for the sack.
If there's any silver lining for this drive, Mike, it's the fact that at least this sack occurred on an early down. So I guess technically they have a chance to claw themselves out of this hole, but that's the 3rd sack of the game. And this defense doesn't show any signs of slowing down.
Here comes 3rd and 6. Gino to throw. He gets this one to Tucker. And he is very close to the first down, but eyeball, he is shy of it. And they say it's 4th and inches.
I think this is one of those plays that when the ball carrier watches this back in the film room tomorrow, he's going to be a little frustrated with himself. If he could just have made that one guy miss, he picks up the first down. Instead, he gets brought down short of the sticks, and now they got a 4th down decision to make.
The home team's offense ready to take over possession of the football. And look, they've been out of sorts throughout, Greg. They haven't had any answer for this pass rush all game.
Yeah, and it's really showing up in the sacks and also just in their ability to prevent any yards, any completions. This has just been a dominant pass defense performance here, and everything starts with the rush. The quarterback's uncomfortable. The clock gets sped up. He's got guys in his face. It's a lot easier to play defensive back and in some of these coverage units when you know that ball's got to come out fast, and right now they're teeing off and taking advantage of it.
A tight end in motion now. Straight ahead, it's Walker. Nice job finding gain of about 9. Just a yard short of that first down. A good spot here, 2nd and a yard. Off the play fake. He'll look to throw. That's caught. It's Kenneth Walker. And they bring him down, but not until he gets the 45-yard line.
Whatever they've talked about in the locker room at the halftime break seems to have worked. They've come out with a new established energy. You could see it when they took the field. Now this offense seems to be building on it because with that chunk play, just a little bit of rhythm that they can build off of. They got a long way to go to get back into this game, but so far off to a good start.
Set to go now on 1st and 10. Off play action. He'll set up to throw. This one complete to his tight end, Fant. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on 1st down.
As a route runner, once you identify zone coverage like they were playing here, the key is find open space and stay in it. He did a nice job here because that was not a big hole. The quarterback had to put a little extra on that one, and they were able to make the completion.
Here's Walker. Not a whole lot there as he'll work it down to the 46. It is Max Crosby there to wrap him up. On 3rd down, they go with Walker. Kicking time for the Seahawks. They'll punt this one away. He'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. That's going to be out of bounds, no return, and the drive's going to start from just inside the 20-yard line. The visitors' offense ready to take over once again. They'll begin with 1st and 10. They'll begin here on the ground. And he finds a little bit of space. He'll take this forward for a gain of 4. Play action now. It's Gino. And he got rid of that one quickly before the receiver even knew what was going on. That's incomplete.
Just seems like another case of predetermining where the quarterback is going to go with the ball. He had a lot of good route options on that last concept. I think if he just remains a little bit more patient, read the play out, let it unfold, will lead to some easier and better completions.
On play action, Smith. And that is incomplete.
I'd say one of the most critical elements of a dynamic offense, Mike, is how efficient are you on 3rd down? It's something these teams stress all week. Here's an opportunity to continue to extend this drive. The defense wins this time and brings up 4th down.
And good coverage by the punt team. They stop him before he can get any return cranked up. The Seahawks offense and Kenneth Walker ready to take over once more. The deficit is at 10, so an important drive forthcoming. Getting started with 1st and 10. Now off the bootleg, he'll look to throw here. Outright Smith and Jigba has it. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a 1st down completion of 7 yards. Second down and 3. A shotgun run now with Walker. And he'll be close to a 1st down. A gain of a couple as they mark him just short. They'll try and throw for it on 3rd and 1.
The most important stat, Mike, to determine wins and losses in the NFL is clearly turnover differential, your ability to protect the ball and on defense, take the ball away. And for any offense, that's even more critical when you have the ball on your side of the field.
That's fielded at about the 18. And he'll get forward a few yards on the return. And that's where the offense will take over. The Raiders offense ready to get back at it. They'll try to establish some tempo as they start this one with 1st and 10. Now a give on the ground, and he surges forward for a gain of about 5. On 2nd down, Smith. Over the middle, that's the tight end, Bowers. And that's going to be a 1st down. A pickup of 9.
Well, we'll give a little credit here defensively. Even though they allowed the 1st down, we've seen defenses really struggle bringing this big tight end to the ground, and they didn't allow him to pick up a bunch of yards after contact, but he was able to get just enough to pick up the 1st down.
On 1st and 10, here's Smith. That's over the middle and intercepted. Picked off by Kobe Bryant. And he's going to set up his guys with great field position. A huge chance to cut into the deficit.
Mike, there's usually such a comfort level when the guy playing quarterback behind center is a veteran. They've seen a lot of ball. You can trust them to make good decisions. And then every once in a while, one just gets away. And that's just simply a bad ball, a bad mistake. And you're not going to get away with it at this level.
The Seahawks offense ready to come back out for this next possession. They can get back into this quickly now. Very short field ahead. It is 1st and 10. Back to throw here to begin the drive. A very quick throw there, but not on the same page with his target. That's incomplete. Jackson, Smith, and Jigba, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 2nd down. He'll look to throw. Off he goes. Good decision to take off. He gets 15 yards and a first down.
They got to do a better job of keeping the quarterback contained in the pocket all week, Mike, against mobile quarterbacks. You talk about rushing as a group. This time they get a little undisciplined with their rush lane integrity, and he makes them pay.
The tight end Fant in motion. On play action, he'll set up to throw. And this offensive line just has no answers right now. It's another sack.
If they win this game, this pass rush is going to be a big reason why. The 5 sacks speak for itself, but their ability to disrupt the timing of this offense, that can't be overstated.
So after the loss on first, here's 2nd and 14. On the handoff, this is Walker. And he'll pick his way forward, a gain of about 5. And that's going to set up 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. He'll try to run for it. And he's going to slide down with the first down inside the 5. The first down there on a pickup of 17.
Those plays are killers for a defense. You think you have the quarterback hemmed in. You think you have a chance for your pass rush to get you off the field. Instead, he gets away, picks up some tough yards, and sets his team up 1st and goal.
Well, a chance to get right back in it here. 1st down and goal. Oh, maybe a free play as he'll look to throw it. This is caught for a touchdown. There is a penalty flag down. Let's see if this one holds up. Now the point after drop from Myers. He knocks it through. And the Seahawks are back within a field goal. The lead is 3. The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. Laube now to return it. And a solid run back there. He'll get this out past the 30-yard line. The Raiders offense starting to trot out for this next possession. They lead by a field goal as they go to work with a 1st and 10. Man in motion here is Tucker. Smith to throw on 1st and 10. Now he takes off. A big-time play for Vegas. 42 yards.
Yeah, and this is one of those cases, Mike, that the defense is so consumed with locking down all the receivers that they lose track of the quarterback. And after realizing there was nowhere to go with the ball, he tucks the ball down and not only picks up the 1st down, he picks up a huge chunk play.
A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10. They'll go play action. It's Smith. Inside the 10, it is caught. And he's going to be taken down.
Well, they certainly aren't wasting any time marching down the field. I mean, you only need one hand to count how many plays they've run, and yet they find themselves first and goal inside the low red zone.
A couple of big plays, one after the other, and now it's first and goal. To throw is Smith. He's got it at the 3.
It's not the big play they were hoping for, but first down efficiency, staying ahead of the chains, is what every offense is trying to find, and it brings up a manageable second down.
Ball at the 3, second down and goal. They'll run with Mostert. And he's going to go backwards, taken down at the 6.
It makes sense on second and goal, Mike, to keep this ball on the ground. You always have third down again to finally punch it in. But now after the defense forces you backwards, I think you have to consider putting this one in the air here on third and goal.
From the shotgun, Smith. Taking off, he'll try to get there. A second effort, and he is in. Geno Smith, touchdown Vegas. That his second touchdown tonight. The defense comes up with the coverage, but they cannot keep up with the speed as the quarterback scrambles to the end zone for the touchdown.
And down here in the red zone, Mike, is where I think a quarterback's legs can be the most dangerous. The defenders are trying to match backs, match tight ends and receivers, but often it's the quarterback that has no one assigned to him, and in this case, he's able to capitalize and run it in himself.
What they're looking at here is the spot of the football. Always tricky to get this exactly right, but it only takes a few inches to make a big impact. So slow this down, find a landmark on the field, and determine where the spot should be. So that challenge, a successful one. So instead of going for the first down, in comes the field goal unit. Bit of a surprise here. This, about as short as you can get. Another one through the uprights. He's 4 for 4 on the game. And the Raiders will extend their lead.
It's always a little bit of a letdown, Mike. You find yourself deep in the red zone and you have to settle for a short field goal like that. In this case, he's able to put it through, and they get 3.
Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. On the return, here's Sims. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Seahawks offense and Jackson Smith and Jigba ready to get back to work. The deficit, 6 points. So a touchdown here would be mighty nice for the offense. See what they can do on this drive. 1st and 10. This drive starts on the ground with Walker. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more.
You could just see the frustration on the running back's face as he's getting helped up off the ground, Mike. There was just nowhere to go from the moment he was handed the ball. Give credit to the defense. Great job.
We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. So, 3 quarters now in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now they'll set up to throw. A throw over the middle, and they can't connect. It's incomplete.
They're lucky to have avoided this mistake here, Mike. In the fourth quarter, with possessions running out, that would have been a critical back-breaking play in this game, and they're going to have second life now after that defender drops the ball, and let's see if they can take advantage of it.
On third down, they'll set up to throw. Taking the deep shot for Smith and Jigba. And he will take this one in. 73 yards. Touchdown, Seattle. The game-tying touchdown here in the fourth quarter, and a chance to take the lead with the point after.
Mike, the sideline's going crazy with that late score, but they still need this extra point to take the lead here and see if they can hang on to this fourth quarter lead.
Myers now to add the PAT. The kick is good. Important one as they take the lead here in the fourth quarter. So now playing with the lead after that fourth quarter touchdown. Time to kick it back the other way. To return it, here's Raheem Mostert. Nice job on the return. He's down close to the 35-yard line. The visitors' offense back onto the field for their next possession. The deficit is 1 as they'll search now for that go-ahead score. Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And that'll be a pickup of 3. They face 2nd down and 7. They'll stick with him again. And a good tackle out wide will hold him to a gain of just 3. Big play coming up. This is 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Smith. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
We're starting to see in these passing situations, Mike, this defensive line is starting to have their way against this group up front because right now, their pass protection is breaking down and this quarterback's paying the price for it.
The Raiders have their punt team out there. They'll be forced to punt, trailing here in the fourth quarter. A fair catch called for and made just beyond their own 15. The Seahawks offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been successful. He just processes things so quickly, making the right read seemingly every time. Now, faking the give. It'll be Smith and Jigba bringing it in. That's a gain of 19 and a very quick first down.
A lot could go wrong anytime you decide to put the ball in the air here late in the fourth quarter as you're trying to run out the clock and protect this lead. But at the same time, I like that they haven't gone super conservative, just handoff right, handoff left, and it just turns into tackling practice. So I like the balance of making the defense defend everything, because right now, possess the ball, protect the ball, and ultimately just run the clock out.
2 nice play calls here to kick off the drive. 15 more on that one.
And this running game has really been rolling, Mike, all game long. The holes, the run lanes, they've been there consistently. Here's another nice run as they look to put this game away.
On 1st and 10, they'll set up to throw. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be 2nd down.
I got high standards for offensive players, but in this case, Mike, I think I'm giving all the credit to the defender. He timed that one up perfectly, and what could have been an easy play ends up as an incomplete.
They're trying to burn some clock here as they keep it on the ground. He'll try to get back to the line, but it's not happening. Gonna lose a yard.
You know, at this point, the defense has to sell out and stop the run. You know exactly what the offense is trying to get accomplished by keeping the ball on the ground. But now the question remains, are they willing to take some risk here and put the ball in the air on 3rd down? Or do they play it safe and keep running the clock by keeping the ball on the ground?
They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
Great pass rushers live for 3rd down, especially when they know the offense has to be one-dimensional. And this is a great example here, Mike. They can just pin their ears back and go. They know there is no threat for run. It is a must-pass situation, and for this offense, they're lucky it didn't result in a sack.
The Raiders offense ready to take over once more. They'll see if they can put something together here, beginning with 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Gino. Gets it away quickly, and it's caught. And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one.
And this is where the speed of your inside receivers are so critical. He lines up in the right slot. But, Mike, look how far he covers to where he ended up receiving that ball. You can't have all day. Those defensive linemen, they are coming after your quarterback. So the speed in the slot is critical. That's a great example why.
They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. Blown back in the backfield. He'll get the carry here. And he'll get 2 on this one before being taken down. Throwing on 2nd down. Smith to the left side. It is caught by Myers.
This is one of those throws where you're hoping you do most of the damage after the catch, but give credit to the defense. Once that ball was caught, they were on him quickly, and there was nowhere for him to go after the catch.
3rd and 6. Man in motion here is Tucker. Working out of the gun, Smith. And this ball incomplete on 3rd down.
Well, we all know the running joke, right, Mike? If this guy could catch, he'd be playing offense. And, well, I think that's kind of a joke for the past. These defensive players are incredible these days. That's just too easy. You've got to secure that interception for your defense and get off the field. The home team's offense and their quarterback
headed out for their next possession. And this defense has got to be at its wits' end trying to come up with a way to keep him contained. He's had so many opportunities to tuck it and go, and he's turned a number of those into big plays. The drive begins at the 20. Here's 1st and 10. A handoff as they try to run it here. A short gain there to about the 22. The run up the middle, it's Walker. And this is going to be a Seahawks 1st down as he gets this one up past the 30.
4th quarter, you find yourself protecting a 1-possession lead. It's a fine line, Mike, between do I keep the ball on the ground, continue to work the clock, or stay aggressive, try to extend this lead to a multiple possession game. That's the balance this play caller is dealing with right now.
Huff brings it in left side. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield.
Anybody who thought this coach was going to get conservative with this late lead is sadly mistaken, Mike. They're out here still throwing haymakers with this passing game. They're not content with just having the lead. They're looking to increase it.
So they come to the line for 1st down and 10. On the ground, it's Walker. Trying to find some place to go, but nothing developing. Tackled behind the line. It's a loss of 1.
At this stage in the 4th quarter, great job by the defense, understanding exactly what the offense is trying to do. They're trying to bleed the clock, shorten the game. They completely sold out to stop the run, able to take them down for a loss.
Lost 1 on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. Once again, it's Walker. And he is not going to get away. Might have gotten a yard, but it will set up 3rd down. Cup in motion. On 3rd down, they'll throw from the gun. He'll try and get there on the ground. And the quarterback scrambling, maneuvers his way back to the line of scrimmage, but that's all he can get out of that one.
Give him credit for keeping this play alive as long as he could. This easily could have gone down for a loss, but he's kind of able to find his way forward and at least get back to the line of scrimmage.
The Seahawks sending out their punt team as they try to play the field position game here, protecting a 4th quarter lead. The Vegas offense ready to get rolling again. They'll start out 1st down and 10. Drive will start on the ground, and they're going to mark him down right at the 30-yard line.
Really nice job by the interior of this offensive line. It typically just takes one guy to distort the defense to give the back enough room to operate, and that's exactly what they did here, and it led to a big gain.
So, 1st and 10 now from the 30. Play action now. It's Gino. Finding his tight end, Mayer. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on 1st down.
There's no more efficient play in the NFL, Mike, than the play-action passing game, and you can see here why. You make the defense have to honor both the run and the pass, and he's able to pick up a nice gain to his tight end.
In motion is Myers. On play action, Smith. And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing third down.
Sometimes it's those footsteps. I don't care how long you've been playing or at what level you've been playing at. When that defender's bearing down, you really get a good idea of what guys are willing to go through contact to secure a catch, and in this case, what guys are unwilling.
That's into the hands of Tucker. He's got it. 12 yards on that hookup. Good for a Raider first down.
And how about the poise of this quarterback? You find yourself down here late in the fourth quarter, Mike, facing a tough third down. You've got to have it. But you know what? He calls the play, he breaks the huddle. He's like, you know what, Coach? I got it. That's a big-time throw to now keep this drive alive as they go down looking for that go-ahead touchdown.
The hole closes quickly. He'll pick up about 3. A second down throw for Smith. And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing third down.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense because think, Mike, they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just nowhere for the offense to go with the ball.
Now he'll run. He'll get a dozen out of that one, scrambling his way to a first down.
And this has been a familiar sight all day today for this defense. They have no answer for this quarterback as a runner. That last scramble puts him over 100 yards for the day.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning remain as we get set for 1st and 10. Smith next. That's going to be incomplete. They cannot hook up there. And that takes us to the 2-minute warning. He'll try again here. It's 2nd and 10. They'll stick to the ground. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line. Here's first down. He'll run. And he'll take this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down. They'll run here. Big opening up the middle. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Las Vegas.
When you start talking about the qualities of a top-tier back in the NFL, Mike, we all talk about size, speed, the ability to keep your feet, the ability to have balance at contact. But the part we don't talk enough about is patience, understanding the blocking scheme, the timing, when to hit the hole, as much as what hole to hit. And I think you get a great example of what that looks like when it all comes together. He takes advantage of the scheme, and next thing you know, he hits his head on the goalpost.
And now the Raiders faced with an important two-point conversion attempt. Back to the ground. He'll get it again. And he will get into the end zone for the 2 and extend the lead to 7 points. So a big change here. They go from down 1, score the touchdown, add the 2. Now they lead by 7 as they kick it off. And he's down at the 23, and that's where the offense will take over. The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he has been masterful so far leading this offense, keeping the mistakes to a minimum, on point with his passes, generally one step ahead of the defense all game long. Here is 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. Over the middle, Smith and Jigba with the ground. And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one. Plenty of time, plus 2 timeouts at their disposal. It's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Sending it downfield for Fant. He's got it! And he's out of bounds, but they take it to the red zone. Inside the 20. It's a big play when they needed it the most. 42 yards.
And this offense is now really on the move, Mike, and it's the passing game that's leading the way. They've been able to march their way downfield thanks to this aerial attack, so don't expect them to go to the ground game anytime soon. If I'm this play caller, I'm continuing to lead on this, not only in this drive, but probably for the rest of this game.
To the air now on 1st and 10. Rush comes, they're setting up the screen. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on 1st down.
You see so many teams wait till 3rd down to execute their screen game, but I like in this case the play caller changes things up. He uses the screen game on 1st down, which will have an effect on this pass rush going forward. How aggressive do they want to get after the quarterback? Because they got that screen play still in the back of their head.
Here's 2nd down. They'll look to throw again. To the left side and pulled in. Valdez-Scantling. The game hanging in the balance and a critical 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And it's a touchdown. They have gotten to within 1, and a 2-point conversion can give them the lead here in the final minute.
Mike, I know everyone has their opinions about whether to kick it or go for 2, but my honest opinion is I don't even think there's a decision to be made. I'm keeping my offense on the field. We've practiced all week for our gotta-have-it 2-point play. Dial it up. Do not play for overtime. Win this game now in regulation.
So now the extra point to, in all likelihood, send us to overtime. Now the Raiders going to use the first of their timeouts. So now the extra point to, in all likelihood, send us to overtime. The extra point is good. A big one as we are tied late in this football game. Final seconds here, overtime looming on the horizon as they kick it off. From a yard deep, he's going to bring it out. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. This is 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. And he'll bring this across the 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 4. Four quarters could not determine a winner. We get back underway here in overtime. Now return coming from the 7. He's across the 20, taken down just shy of the 25. So now out comes the offense, led by their quarterback as they take over once again. And we show you some of the highlights, and there have been plenty to choose from. 3 touchdown passes, and some other big-time throws as well. Certainly dialed in and on top of his game right throughout this one. So here's a 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 24. On play action, he'll set up to throw. Taking the deep shot for Smith-Njigba.
So the defense comes out in a cover 2 shell, and what that means, Mike, is the 2 safeties are going to split the field in half. One guy has one half, and the other guy has the other. There are abilities to get down the middle of the field, especially if you have speed. But really where you can attack it is they don't have enough guys to defend all of the underneath zones, and if you run the right concepts with the right quarterback, you can pick them apart. They just rushed that decision just a little bit downfield. I mean, it's one thing to trust your guy to make a play in tight coverage, but I think if he was a little bit more patient in his progression, there was an easier throw out there that wouldn't make him have to throw such a tight window ball and put his receiver in a tight spot.
Shotgun snap as they'll throw it on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
Not exactly the type of drive to write home about, Mike. 3 passes, 3 incompletions, no yards gained. And I really can't blame any of these fans who have continued to voice their frustration, especially after that last series of play calls.
Special teams out to the field, ready for this punt. And he's on for a big one here in overtime. And he's going to be brought down after a short return. And that's where his team will get possession of the football. The Raiders offense ready for this next possession. They'll do so with 1st and 10. Now a first throw here in overtime. That's a nice pickup on a first down throw. It's a gain of 8.
Recognizing the blitz is just the first step in the process for a quarterback understanding who you can account for with the protection and then who you can't account for. That's where your hot receiver comes in. He points to his receiver who the defender they're hot off of. That guy comes, gets the ball out of his hand, and results in a completion.
They'll turn and hand this one off. Good running there, getting close to midfield. Let's mark him there. And a first down.
This is a situation that play callers love to be in, Mike. They have all their options on the table. Second and short, play action pass, you can run. In this case, they choose to keep it on the ground, play it safe, pick up the first down.
In motion is Myers. They will not get this one off. It'll be a delay of game. Following the penalty, they'll run it. And he'll get this just past the 5 as he's taken down. Now a give on the ground. He'll turn this into a gain of about 4. It's going to lead to third down. From the shotgun, Smith. And the rush gets home. He'll go down. They got him.
The offense is trying to stretch the field vertically. They're trying to put as many receivers into the coverage deep as possible. But you know what you need? You need time. You need to allow those guys to get downfield. But when you have a pass rush like this, they don't let that time unfold, and that pocket collapsed and results in a sack.
The Raiders send their punt team out. Out comes the Seattle offense as they get ready for their next possession. They'll start it here with a 1st and 10. They'll begin here on the ground. And he's going to be marked down up around the 33.
The ability to be effective on first down, Mike, it just makes everything else easier. In the event you do have to face a third down the road, they're usually a lot more manageable situations, a lot easier to convert.
So it'll be 1st and 10. They'll scrimmage at the 33. They'll stay on the ground. And he slips through an opening. Winds up getting about 8. That is past the 40-yard line. Here's 2nd and 2. Straight ahead, it's Walker. And he'll get the first down there, a pickup of about 5 yards.
2nd down at these distances, Mike, you pretty much anticipate a pass, and I think that's what the defense was lined up thinking. In this case, they leave a little too much room on the ground, and the offense is able to pick up a first down.
He'll keep it on the ground and keep it with Walker. And he'll work forward for about 3. It's second down. The tight end, Fant, in motion. Little short pass here, caught by his tight end. And a good job rallying to the football. Hold him just a gain of a yard and sets up third down.
Really well done here by the defense, Mike, executing this zone defense, and they've got to be able to pattern read. You're not just going to drop back to a spot and just play like a robot. Based on what the receivers do off the line, the defenders have different rules of where their zones move to. Well, they had that one dialed in right from the jump, and they were able to stop that play really before it got started. Having a quarterback with this ability to run is such an X factor in today's NFL. It's an element of their offense that you have to be prepared for on every single play. Here we see it on third down. Starts out as a pass, nowhere to go with the ball. He tucks it, turns into a runner, picks up the first down.
Who else? Another catch for his favorite target. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on first down. They'll come up now for second down and 4. Up the middle they go. And this defense up to the task there. Gain of just 2, and it's third down. They'll try and run it with Walker. And yes, that'll get it. First down, marked at the 30. A good run will keep this drive going.
Nothing real fancy about this call here, Mike, right? In this third and short, just get the ball to your running back, make sure he has enough space to pick up the first down, and they're able to convert.
They'll come up here, first and 10. They run with Walker. And he's fighting to try to get back to the line of scrimmage, but will not do it. This is going to be a loss of a yard.
Anytime the running back is forced to chop his feet in the background and never get to top speed, you know that play's not going anywhere. And that's exactly what the defense was able to force here by getting penetration. Great job there, stopping this play before he had a chance to even get started.
On second down, Walker. And they will take him down at the 20-yard line.
The best offensive play callers in the NFL, Mike, do a great job tying in their under-center run game, like we just saw here, with their under-center play action game. And the ability to make those two things look alike, man, it puts a lot of stress on the defense.
Now timeout Vegas. That is their second. So the pressure's on. Here's the veteran, Jason Myers. This one to win it in overtime. This kick is good. He got it. It took overtime, but they will walk off the field with the victory. So the 12th man, a factor here, as it's a win for the Seahawks. This was a close-fought game. They were able to get themselves into field goal range here at OT. And the final kick sailed through the uprights to finally close out this victory. And that'll do it for my partner, Greg Olson. For our entire team, I'm Mike Tirico. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Seahawks. As we say, so long from Seattle.